It's the
It's the
halfway through intro song.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Yep. We've start if you want to do it. He's stopped, hasn't he? He's actually stopped. All right, Nick. We'll just. Oh no, he literally just did the fucking speed up lag thing. He literally just sped up and finished it.
So before we start this, just got to say I'm like.
I was about to say, this is literally just going to be Nick and I. Probably.
Here and there.
We are so lucky we're not professionals.
To be fair, I feel like for the first topic
what is going on with my Discord?
I feel like for the first topic, Nick and I probably know the most about it. So
yeah,
it's probably for the best for me and Nick and I to take the reins. So if Brad lagged out, so I'll do the introduction. I'm not going to sing the introduction song because this is a serious episode of Team Tam Pants.
From what I've heard, it's apparently an intro song that's not very long.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So
you're onto something.
So basically, Brad tries to fix his Discord and his internet. A lot of things have happened in the last couple of days, which...
Well, we should probably start with what we've been doing. So if anyone who hasn't been following us, we don't do much of this. We do it when we have time. We're all busy. We all do stuff.
Yes.
And if you've followed us enough and you've seen us and you know, all of us met because of RoosterTeeth. That's where we met, and that's where we are. And we tried to do a podcast.
That's where the birth of the Tam Pants were.
Yeah, so we tried to do a podcast a few months ago when like the Dr. Disrespect and the Mini Lad stuff and all that stuff started kicking off, but we never really found the time. We're all busy gentlemen. And now something has happened, I think, which is probably a bit near and dear to all of our hearts, and we thought we should probably throw in a couple of bits and pieces on it. Yeah, I would say so. It just seems appropriate given it's hits pretty close to home to us and all of that. So.
First off, I would before we go into it, we don't know everything. We are only reacting to what we know. Nick might have heard something different from me. I might have heard something different.
So I've been on Twitter all day.
I also heard some things.
I have been on Twitter all day as well. Yeah, I've been on Twitter all day, because, like Nick said, it's very near and dear to all of our hearts. So I've been trying to keep up to date with what's happening, and so basically we can run down. So if you haven't heard, and if you're not big fans of RoosterTeeth, a couple of days ago, Ryan Haywood and Adam Kovic there was speculation that they sent explicit photos to fans, or they got leaked, or something.
It was a leak. It was a leak that started on 4chan, yeah.
4chan, yeah. There was a leak on 4chan.
So the difference between 4chan and Reddit, if you're not an internet savvy person, Reddit is like the front page of the internet for everything and anything. If you can think about it, it probably exists within Reddit with a bunch of like-minded people. 4chan, on the other, and with Reddit, you can't really post without an account. You can't access any of the not safe for work stuff, which can include things like gore, softcore porn, etc., etc. And then without an account. But whereas 4chan is basically the wastelands of the internet, and you don't need an account. You can literally upload anything you want, and it can just be anonymous. And so that's what happened with Adam Kovic, who's he's a personality at Funhouse and Inside Gaming. So what's happened with him is a lot of the photos from him were leaked. And I don't think they were ever sent to fans. I think they were just leaked, but they were taken. They were non-consensually. Yeah, and they were also non-consensually taken. From what we understand anyway, that they were taken without the other person who was involved in the pictures knowledge, I believe.
Yeah, consent as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it all started from 4chan. That's when I first heard of it. I remember reading it and it being like, Ryan Haywood and Adam Kovic leaks.
It was something like they're disgusting pigs and it needs to be shared or something.
I was like, oh shit. I didn't really take note of that until I think it was 2 days ago or yesterday is when it got escalated where someone came forward on 4chan, I think.
Someone came forward and claimed that they were 17 and they lied about their age to basically get photos from Mr. Haywood, who we should be both of these men are married. Ryan himself has kids.
Yep.
Ryan's
Ryan's been with his wife since like 15,
high school.
I think, like high school, which is crazy.
Yeah, and so the person came forward again, all posted anonymously, saying that they were 17 and they lied to Ryan about all this sort of stuff. So there was also then accusations of grooming. It has been debunked now, but he still did have a relation. He basically, if you're an internet drama person, Ryan Hayward Dr. disrespected himself is what he did. He basically he cheated on his wife and on his family with a fan or e-girl or whatever the fuck it was. And then he came out and he took it on the chin and fucking said, "Yep, I'm stepping away from the company." And then today the company's like, "No, get fucked, you're fired." Frustratingly, they didn't use his name in the tweet, which made me
used the 2 employees,
which made me mad
as well. I noticed that as well. So I have Ryan's statement up. So basically, he just says, "I made mistakes and will be leaving RT to focus on rebuilding my family and my life. I'm sorry to anyone I've hurt. I do want to say emphatically that I never did anything illegal. The consequences of my actions are mine to deal with. Please stop harassing and threatening my family." So basically, what he said is that he fucked up, but he didn't do anything illegal. Is basically what I got from his statement. And then Kovic posted a couple of hours ago.
Yeah, have you got that one?
Yes. Yeah, I just read it just before we started.
It's a very big. I'm not going to read all of it, but I'll just summarize it. He did what he did. He fucked up, and then he basically just goes on to say that his wife's the most important person to him, and now he's hurt her.
Yeah. He's thankful for the opportunities at Funhouse.
Yeah. He's stepping away from.
It's a very, very typical type of. Yeah, I got caught.
Like apology. He's fucked up, so he's stepping away from Funhouse, and then RoosterTeeth posted today, which we were talking about, was they breached the code of conduct, and
community guidelines.
And they will be let go from RoosterTeeth. It's like I would like to talk like 2 sides of it, because like a lot of I've been reading a lot of the community and all that, and already 2020 has already been a shit year for RoosterTeeth.
Like, it's been bad.
2020 has been a really horrible year for RoosterTeeth. With this,
and it's
with this, it's just the icing on the cake, and like.
Mom asked you.
There's a lot of sides. There's a lot of sides you can take. Is the RT community? There's a lot of people. A lot of people are on Ryan's side. I know a couple of people on Ryan's side. I know a couple of people on the victim's side. It's just the moral of the story is they fucked up.
My intimacy with the company has been something I've spoken about before, where I think I mentioned a couple of podcasts ago where I was saying that my biggest frustration is with the community, and the community is what's killing the company for me. Their content has definitely gone a certain direction and all that sort of stuff. Since all of this stuff has happened, I stopped monetarily supporting them. I unsubscribed from first and everything like that. Mainly, like, not due to the drama, but more due to the fact that I'm just not really watching their stuff anymore. And I think it's not only because the content has gone a direction in which I don't personally like. I don't know. It's just something I just feel like it's just the same sort of stuff, and it's not really enjoyable anymore. There's some great bits in that. I tend to watch compilations more than anything these days of them. I find them to be more enjoyable than the stuff they normally post. But and I think the last time I commented about the community was the people who were saying, like, when Lindsay was pregnant, she was on, people going, "Get this fucking fat whale off my screen."
Yes,
and then they brought and then like when Fiona and Alfredo got brought in, they're like, "Oh, look at these black N-word, blah blah blah." It's like, why the community is what's killing that company, and it just I've been a fan since Red vs. Blue episode 1, so like 15 odd years ago I've been following this company for. At one point in my life it was a dream to work there. Now I could not want anything less to do with them, and it's just, I feel like after controversy after controversy, how it's been poorly handled. They've, whether with things with like the whole, I don't know if you guys ever heard about the Fragger incident a long time ago. That was a big one, and they kept that really in-house and under wraps and never really admitted anything about it and all that. But now, with this latest one...
I heard very, very minimal things on that one.
The Fragger one? It was something like it was so long ago, but it was in like the first couple of years of the company, and they brought him in, and it turns out he was like a scumbag, same sort of thing, like harassing the community, being a general sicko. But yeah, my biggest thing with this one is I don't understand people's mentality. Like, Ryan and Adam are victims, all right? Yes, they did the wrong thing, but this stuff was leaked, and it's so terrible. It's like, well, no, someone got a hold of it and went, this isn't right, and they need to be held accountable. That is the clear cut of it. Like, just let's put it in a perspective that maybe some people could understand a little bit better. Your dad is now all of a sudden in possession of pornography that contains a person who is under the age of 18 years old. Your dad is now, by definition of the law, in possession of child pornography. All right? And you find it. Do you take it to the police? Of course you do, because it's gross, even though he's your dad. Right? You've now done exactly what they just had done to them. Okay, it's plain and kick. That's probably the clearest and simplest example I can give to people who are having trouble with it. And people are like angry and confused and they're upset. And I can completely understand it. For people who don't know Rooster Teeth or Achievement Hunter or whoever they are, Ryan Hayward especially is probably one of the biggest and most well-loved people in that place. And the worst part is seeing the other talent who've put reactions out today. One especially that stuck out for me was Meg.
Yeah, Meg.
So Meg Turney was super close with Ryan. They had their own show together. There was like jokes being made about a relationship between them, even though they were both seeing someone, and they kind of played into it a little bit, but never actually anything happened. And now I think her post was something like, "I've never been so," she's like, "I just feel like dirty," or
I have Meg's post, and it's basically she can't describe the shock of being so close to someone and having absolutely no idea. It really is just indescribable. Fuck, and then she just thanks the stream for helping her through it.
Yeah,
like one that really got to me as well is actually the AH guys, like Michael, Jeremy, Alfredo, Trevor. They all posted today, and they had no idea. That's why, like, I understand why you've demonetarily stopped watching Rooster Teeth, but I'm going to continue watching Achievement Hunter because they were just as shocked as us, I think.
Oh yeah, they didn't do anything wrong, and I'll probably still watch their videos on occasion. But like, and they even said, I think it was there was a post on the RT website where there won't be any new streams for Achievement Hunter. They'll be playing backlogs, and they're also changing up all the content that's supposed to be coming out. They said, I think they said don't expect anything for a couple of days, purely because it would have had him in it, and so they just, I think, the
one scenario from that Brad's
gone.
Brad's gone.
So still good.
All right, he was wasted space anyway. So basically, the first example of that was the Arwu that was this Monday. It got released and it was 29 minutes, and then it got taken down. It got re-released and it was 13 minutes because they had to cut out 16 minutes of Ryan. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So my personal take on it. Look, it was exactly like I think I tweeted out as well. I said I wish entertainers could just be entertainers. Yeah, and I had the benefit of the next like 12 hours since it happened to be able to kind of process it in my head at work and what I wanted to say and how I wanted to say it, to put it into a public platform. Yeah. And I think the biggest thing is because I'm a streamer, I have fans, and I have sometimes fans message me, and a good example of fans overstepping the boundary. I think this is where things need to start being put into perspective. I understand as streamers and as YouTubers, people trying to be like, oh, I have an intimate relationship with my fans. That's why we are a community. We're a family. No, that's not what I promote at my streams. In my streams, I'm an entertainer. You are the viewer. And if you like what I do, support me. If you don't, there's plenty of other people out there. I cannot be, as an entertainer, I cannot be your confidant. I cannot be your, like therapist. I cannot be those things. Okay? I cannot be your big brother. I can't be your weird uncle. I can't be your dad. And I think that's where a lot of it gets misconstrued. And that's where it begins to lead down into these gray areas of it becoming too intimate. A very, very perfect example of that.
Like conventions and stuff too, when you got the fans who like know every minuscule detail about these people's lives. It's like
just enjoy the content.
Don't enjoy it. Like,
and I think we've said that before. Is that sometimes fans think like I'm not victim blaming. I'm like I solely believe Ryan and Adam are they're
scumbags.
They're the scumbags in this situation, so I'm not defending them or anything.
And I'm not just talking about in this industry either, like in sporting, movie stars, fucking everything.
It's just that's the problem is that the people who are put in these positions by these fans need to form a line. There needs to be that. But you can't just so like a perfect example of this is something that happened recently. So I admin for a couple of Aussie streamers, and one of them messaged me and was like, "Hey, look, this fan has followed me from another streamer, and because that streamer has stopped streaming." This fan who was under the age of 18, excuse me, he was on this other person's Discord, and he basically messaged them out of the blue saying, "I don't know what to do with my life now that blank and blank has stopped streaming." And the streamer responded with, "Look, I can send him a message, but that's all I can really do, you know, rah rah," because this person really latched onto him, like, "Oh, you know, you're awesome, blah blah." And then what had happened is something had happened in this individual's personal life, and he had then messaged the Discord going like, "I need," like messaging the streamer repeatedly at in the Discord going, "I'm gonna kill myself. I need to figure. I need you right now." And then the streamer would reply going, "Yo, what's going on?" And then 2 seconds later, they'd respond going, "Oh no, everything's fine now. It's all good." That's what I mean. That's the kind of stuff that's not okay.
Yeah.
Just saying I'm gonna, you know, using mental health as trying to get attention from a larger personality is never okay to begin with, or in general, doing that is never okay. But this is the thing. It's like if your mum watches the news every day, and she goes, "Oh, I love that weatherman. You know, it's just everything." No, your mum just watches the news. It's no different to just what we do. Just watch it and enjoy it. This level of intimacy that people seem to start doing, and I've noticed it through so many streamers, it's getting bad. Like, it's awful. And you look at these like sites like Wikipedia and like net worth sites and that, they know all these details about people because communities have put it up. Did you know that like his favorite color is a lime green shade number 57.2? Like, what in the fuck? That, you know, there's this intimate, like, so it's an intimacy boundary that is constantly being overstepped. And because people are so afraid this day and age to be politically correct and be pleasing everyone, that they're afraid to lose these fans because they do it full time, and that's their money walking away if they don't provide that. It's almost like they feel obligated that they have to be everyone's friend and everyone's kind of deal in order to not lose money. And then what happens is it again, those boundaries start getting pushed and they start getting gray areas, and it just gets fucking nasty. And we've seen, in my opinion, a perfect example of this. And the same thing would have happened with Dr. Disrespect, in my opinion. Maybe he formed this relationship with someone through maybe his streams or because of who he is as a person, and they wanted some like clout or whatever. Okay, put him on a pedestal again, and they feel powerful and whatever, and they take advantage of that. Or maybe they just get completely manipulated into those situations. We don't know. But the problem is those situations should never happen, because you as an entertainer are an entertainer. You don't need to have these intimate relationships with your fans. I know some people love that because that's what some streamers do or some YouTubers do, but me personally, I try not to do it. I'm very open about talking about, like, when I'm having bad mental health days, I'm very open about talking, you know, about certain situations, but I will never, like, openly go, if you're having a bad time, feel free to message me. I do that to my friends, but not to my fans, because that's a level of intimacy I can't provide. You know, I'll always just say, like, yeah, and like if you're in the chat and you go, "Hey, look, I'm not doing so, crash shot," I'll be like, "Well, look, we can talk about it in this public forum if you're happy to do so, but I can't do it on an intimate level because I'm not a therapist. I'm not qualified to do so." And if you know, yeah. So I don't know. That's my take on it, and I don't know. That's just how I feel about it, and I feel that that's why we're seeing so many of these issues happen now. Like the mini lad one's huge and nasty as well. It's way more messy than this. And the fact that nothing's being done about that, by the way, is insanity.
Yeah, I remember reading the mini lad one.
Oh, yeah. Do you know about the mini lad one, Brad?
No.
Right. Mini lad, literally multiple girls under the age of 18 sent his wiener to him repeatedly. "Oh, I'm going to kill myself if you don't tell me I'm beautiful, or tell me I got a big dick, etc., etc., etc." Apparently he's got a real small dick. And he's manipulating and emotionally abusing his girlfriend. She left, rah, rah. All these accusations came out. He went, yep, yeah, I did that. Yeah, cool. And then to avoid being prosecuted, he just fucked off back home to England or whatever the fuck he's from. And he's been over there for ages. And then he went away for like a month and just come back like, "Oh, it's my mental health. Oh, my mental health, my mental health, my mental health." And then he just went, "Oh, yeah, by the way, here's a Minecraft video." As if nothing has happened and nothing's being done about it. I think most recently YouTube demonetized his entire channel so he can no longer make money from it. But like, I unsubscribed to him. I was like, after all that, I was like, this is fucking foul. I think the best video I watched was by some smaller YouTuber who did like a 30-minute deep dive on the whole situation. And he goes, "I don't know about you, but whenever I'm feeling sad, I don't feel like sending my dick to preteens." I was like,
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Fair call.
So that's in a TLDR. That's the mini lad situation. It is fucking bad.
Yeah, but look, there's as fans, there's nothing wrong if you're enjoying someone's content and like giving them a shout on Twitter or something like, hey, at whoever, like, and you're doing great stuff, keep it up.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with shit like that,
Mm-hmm.
Let your fans know what you do and don't like. But like I said, like you don't need to approach as fans. You don't need to approach the entertainers like they're your personal friend.
Yes.
And vice versa.
Yeah, it's like when you see them at conventions, and it's like, I got you this petunia from the falls of Nigeria because I heard you said they were beautiful one time in a video 7 years ago. You know what I mean? Like it's like those sorts of things are very, very strange, very weird.
And could you imagine receiving something like that? Like,
dude, I would be like, yeah. Because I actually did have that happen to me. When I was streaming, I got raided by someone, and that brought in someone else. And turns out they were a young female, and she messaged me like, "Oh, hey, I really like your stuff, and you're really cute." And rah, rah. I was like, "Oh, thank you, I appreciate that." And then she just kind of kept trying to go with it, and I just went, "Look, I understand what you're trying to do here, and it's like that's not what I'm about. So you're very pretty, and I don't want you to take it as you being unattractive and that, but please stop." And it comes down to those things is like, and this is another thing, like people think that we have like an obligation to respond to DMs and messages. And again, this goes back to not wanting to lose fans who are your income.
Yeah.
We don't have that obligation. All right. Especially when you're being gross like that. And this comes from any sort of content creator, by the way, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, or hell, even if it's fucking OnlyFans. The content creators do not have an obligation to respond to your messages if it goes down to a route where they don't like it. They at the end of the day, we're still people. It's like a good example of this is imagine going to Woolies or Coles or your local shopping center, and you start flirting with the cashier, and then you just tell her she's really pretty, and you'd like to fucking do whatever. You know what I mean? Face to face. Again, and this also then starts leading into the problem with like what the internet has created with this day and age of kids who've grown up on the internet and have no what's the word I'm trying to use? Probably responsibility for their actions and what they say. Maybe, you know what I mean?
Because they're used to saying it just behind a keyboard.
Exactly. You're anonymous on the internet. Exactly. Yeah. So the shit that they would say, they wouldn't say in a real life situation and setting. Like, I don't know, we're getting very off topic of what we were talking about, but I think it's all kind of intertwined together. It's created, and it's starting to create these perfect shitstorms of.
Don't be a dick. Don't be gross. Just stick to yourself.
It's
know
the
your
internet,
fucking boundaries.
Yeah, and set them and be fucking and stand by your fucking boundaries, man. That's the biggest one. Like you get up there and you're like, "Yep, I'm just a content creator and blah blah blah," and then all of a sudden it's like, "He was found with a 16-year-old." It's no bad.
So back onto the Ryan and Adam situation. So I have just found a video. I've just found a 10-minute video of the person who came forward explaining it. So if anyone wants to go and give that away, if you don't understand what's going on, there are plenty of videos on YouTube now.
Leave a link to that in the description.
So,
send that to me. I want to watch that.
Yeah, so it's a 10-minute video, and like she on her Twitter, she shows actually the Snapchat messages.
Oh
so,
God.
Another thing about it, right? Like
I just went through them. I just went through them, and it's actually made me physically ill.
Oh, is it that bad?
They're not great.
Lord.
I'll send you to the link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, leave it in the description as well, like for if anyone actually wants to follow up on that. But I like to Max. I remember seeing on the old like RoosterTeeth and RoosterTeeth pages, and everyone would be like so excited, like, "Oh, this staff member replied to me on Snapchat and all this. Like, they wish me happy birthday and stuff too." And now
the thing is,
a lot of them were Ryan. Now that I'm thinking about it,
I was actually about to say that is that you actually do see all these people like, "Oh, Ryan sent me happy birthday" and all that, and like you just start connecting it up and like.
You want me to make you feel really gross? You remember that episode of This Just Internet where they had each of the cast members read a tweet that someone had sent to Daddy Ryan?
Yeah, no way. Yeah.
You don't remember that video?
No, I remember that video.
Dude, I guarantee you right now, if I go to YouTube, that's still going to be up.
Wait,
I'll look it up right now. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, so I'll put the link in the description of the video, and it's yeah, like as a fan, like Nick said, he's been a fan of 15 years. I've been a fan of nearly 10.
I'm closing on 10 as well. When you're listening to it,
it made me physically ill watching it. Like, And I remember I was up last night and I was like, I actually want to watch a video. So I watched the newest Among Us, which we can discuss later about how good Among Us is.
Oh, yes, we're going to talk the fucking shit out of that.
And so, like, I watched the Among Us and it was 9 of them. Ryan wasn't in it, and it was just, it made me... I'm glad I can still watch their content. I'm glad I didn't turn it on and go, this is making me physically ill and what's happening.
Well, oddly enough, like, I haven't watched too much of their stuff recently, not for any other reason apart from that. I've just been way too busy to watch stuff. Like, my exams are up, I've been studying, like, non-stop. And this morning I went to watch, like, an old Let's Roll, because that's probably the main thing I watch of theirs now is Let's Roll. And I just couldn't sit through it all.
There's 3 private videos in the This Just Internet. Sorry, just to go back to it. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Brad. There's 3 private videos. I think that's the one.
Today's show.
Yeah,
where they were because there was a running joke that he was Big Daddy Ryan. Because it was just this whole thing because he's a dad. He gave off dad aura, and so to kind of paint the picture of the kind of person he was on camera is very comforting, very lovely. I would say semi-soft spoken. But he was also like had these weird skills where he was very good with weapons. He could throw a knife. Like, he was just like just one of those almost like a very weird individual, but he was very funny. His comedy was great, and he was kind of like this semi-psycho, semi-lovable kind of individual.
He was one of my favorite members.
Oh, I agree. He was a lot of people's favorites members. Yeah.
He brought that dynamic to the group.
But and it's one of those like sick and disgusting things of whatever it is, and it's really bad. And a lot of people have really like. I think the main, I want to say like the main theme that a lot of the cast members and stuff have pushed is like it's okay to feel these feelings. We'll get through this together because we're a community. Yeah, it's like no, look honestly, and like again, none of them are mentioning it either of who it is, and I feel like it should be. It should be one of those things where it's like we're not going to not mention them.
Do you reckon they've been told by
100%
someone higher up that they're not allowed to mention the names?
Yep,
surely 100% others have got involved.
You know which one I'm very excited to hear from? Is probably the next off topic with Jeffrey.
Yeah. I reckon because Jeff did that really moving
with Fiona
one. Yeah. It will be interesting to see. They surely can't brush past this. Like
if they do, it will backfire on them harder than anything else they've ever done.
Like what I would do if I was Achievement Hunter is I wouldn't even do like the Black Lives Matter thing where it was like a 30-minute thing where people needed to hear. I think it should just should have Jeff.
The full podcast, the entire episode off topic to dedicate to it.
No,
like I'm talking. It should only be like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm with.
And it should be like,
it should just have Jeff. It should just Jeff at the beginning. And look, you don't even need to mention the name because Warner Brothers aren't going to allow that. But you just need to explain what's happened because still the problem is people still don't know what's happening.
There's too much grey, and I don't think I would be happy. I would be happy if we just open up with Jeff and goes. Look, hello, I'm Jeff Ramsey. I haven't been on camera much lately as I've started my new role within the company, blah, blah, blah. But recently, in light of events that have recently happened, we wanted to clear the air on everything. We should start off by saying, we were not aware of this until it was brought to us. Like many of you, we are sick and disgusted by these actions, especially when it comes from someone who is basically family. Like I let this man in, like none of this, like I let this man in my kid stuff, but kind of like, like he was, we never
worked together every day. We hung out.
We never suspected it. This has blindsided all of us. And, so effective as of, whatever, Ryan Haywood and Adam Kovac are with the company. We wish them, and not even a wish them all the best. It's just they are no longer with the company. This is off topic or whatever. That's if that's all they say, I'm happy.
Yeah, I will be happy with that. But then I can also see them not doing an off topic this week.
Oh no, they're not. They're not doing any. I don't think any content is coming out until like the 13th or something.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if they will just leave it until next off topic, or they will do what we said and just like.
I would just like a quick 2 to 5 minute. I don't even want to know the situation because honestly, I don't think anyone needs to know. I think it should just be like there was a. Yeah, it's like if you want to know, you can go dig yourself. We're not here to promote it. We don't want to talk about these negative people or whatever.
And there's a lot of companies mentioning of it.
Yeah, it should just be look, Ryan and Adam, they breached our community guidelines and our code of conduct and whatever, and as a result, they are no longer with the company. If you want to know more, there's a lot of misinformation on the internet. However, what you find, or not even, something along those lines of like, go looking for yourself, but not just remember, not everything you know is true. I don't want to see we wish you all the best. Fuck you, you're gone. And the interesting part, in my opinion, is this is what these gentlemen have done their entire lives. I would love to see what the fuck they think they're going to do with their careers from now.
Yeah.
Would love to see it.
The thing is, though, and it's like, I don't agree with what Ryan posted and what Kovic posted as well. I don't agree with it, but it's also...
They're the obligatory cop-out, I'm sorry that you caught me, kind of.
But don't attack their family.
The family didn't do anything wrong, and it's disgusting.
They are the biggest victims in
They are the victims, yeah.
Well, second biggest. The fans. Fans will be big. We'll put the direct victims in number one.
Yeah,
family second. Just don't want to look like total assholes here.
Yeah, but don't go after Ryan's wife or
that is completely unnecessary. It's gross. Like, it's gross enough that he's a family man and he did it still. You know what I mean? That's gross enough as it is. And I think in both of these gentlemen's minds, that'll probably be punishment enough. But I don't think the backlash of people going after their loved ones is warranted nor necessary. No. I think that you are, as a fan, you are perfectly entitled to hate, feel dirty, and feel disgusted by these two. You are well entitled to feel that way, and I would definitely urge anyone who is feeling like these emotions are out of control for them and really changing the way they see the world, not only these people, definitely seek help and seek therapy. Don't try to deal with it yourself, and for the love of fuck, do not reach out to someone in the community, because what that then creates is a fucking witch hunt. Because you could say, I'm feeling really upset, another person in the community, that person like, yeah, I'm also really upset. Actually, no, fuck this guy. You don't want that. No, that's a mob mentality, okay? No one within the Achievement Hunter, RoosterTeeth community, online, are qualified therapists, all right? So go see one.
That's also
go see one.
A lot of people are posting and they're like, "Oh, I'm so
my DMs
disgusted."
are open if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. And
you're not a therapist.
I have to agree with Nick. Is if you don't get me wrong, I'm feeling sick and disgusted. Am I going to get over it? Probably. I'll probably forget about this in weeks because Ryan will just be a mid. I'm saying Ryan more than Kovic because I didn't watch much Funhouse. That's why I'm saying Ryan more than Kovic. Yes. But in a few weeks, this will still. It'll be lingering, but I will move on and just enjoy Achievement Hunter Contact in the future.
Yeah, I will think. I think I will. Like I said, I'm no longer monetarily supporting them. I stopped buying merch a long time ago. And I started falling out of their content a long time ago as well. And it just sucks because as much as the company has really changed, and whether or not it's for the better is still yet to remain to be foreseen. They are not the fucking mega house they used to be, and I don't think they will ever find that level of success again.
I think we said it at the start, is that 2020 has really not been the year for Rooster Teeth. We say 2020 has been a shit year. Rooster Teeth.
I'd almost say 2015. 2015, that was the start of the decline.
I could.
2016, 17, sort of around that time though.
Hey, which is hilarious, and this is, it's a really terrible joke to make, but out of all the bullshit that happened, who never had any sort of terrible shit like this? Cow Chop.
Yeah, that's
not one. Yeah. And they used to break doors down with giant dildos. Not a single fuck up. No, even though they got kicked out of their house for that. But
sort of on that, it's they're playing a character. Surely.
Yeah. If you've been
really like that, then I don't.
They are very, very much like that. That was probably my favorite thing about it, is they were unapologetically themselves, because I'd been watching James and Alex from The Creatures in the longest time. I think that's the problem, is when you create a character, a quote unquote character like that, is because then you forget your headphones died. Matt's headphones have died. This is full of. I said your headphones died. Yeah.
Yeah, this is technical difficulties for the podcast.
They're dead. Okay. All right. Matt's gonna sort that out.
At least I sorted my microwave out.
Yeah, you sorted it. I think that when it comes to being an online content creator, because I've been doing it on and off for 10 years. And I am in no no sense of the word a sort of recognizable personality or anything like that. But I've been doing it a long time, and I've seen all the changes and stuff like that. And I think whenever you're creating a character, the problem is that's the character that you kind of have to be forever.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? When people meet you, they expect you to be that character. And I genuinely think that for anyone who's looking at getting into online content creation, and that must be fucking taxing.
I'm back.
You know what I mean? Whereas, well, you're right there, Matt. You figured. I just seen you do
You're
like.
back. Yeah.
Let's get my other set.
Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
good. But like, yeah, I think that it's a very big risk that these people take, and that's I think was one of the appeals to Achievement Hunter and Rooster Teeth, where a lot of these people you can tell that that's just them. They are who they are.
And you can even
that
tell
is
because you look back to the early days of AH, like say Michael Gavin, they used to be these loud, fucking like just jumping around idiots, and they've almost like matured over the years. They got into their 30s.
Well,
And
when
actually,
I mean, you gotta remember they have turned
but they were very young when they first
Yeah.
joined Rooster Teeth. They were like early 20s.
exactly what I'm saying. So, and
Yeah.
then like you almost watch them mature up as they got older, like they were just being.
Yeah,
So,
and as a result, the company matured as well. You know, like I remember when they first started going a bit more politically correct. You know, they no longer call each other retards and all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff, and
You know,
like,
like,
they cut
really
away a lot of
subtle
the
things.
ethnic
Like
jokes.
even their merch went from being all these big, bright, like people like grapes to just like those simple black
The
shirts
thing
with
is,
pockets
though,
on them,
I
and
feel like they've
Like
had to
little things
grow
like
up-
that.
They've had to grow up with the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
and
the
the
Exactly,
problem I think
yeah.
with that
you
though
could
is like
sell
they.
people like grapes these days. I think is.
Yeah, I feel like they really started to lose their identity, because I think that's what made them popular to begin with, was they were these outlier, zany people and stuff. And now that as the company's matured and as they've matured and the content they put out has matured, I think that's where they've dropped a lot of people off, because they've almost become too
Mainstream.
corporate.
Yeah.
Would be the
corporate,
word?
Yeah.
The designs have become simplistic on merch. You know, they're canceling shows because they're not doing well, not because they don't like making them anymore. You know, like that's what I mean. It's just like, understand, and don't get me wrong, I understand it's a business, and you know it's easy to make simplistic design shirts and sell them for cheaper so you can mass produce them. It's easy to make content that you know is going to do well and make money and get views and stuff like that. But like, look at the mass exodus of people. Bernie's gone. Joel is gone. Fucking so many people are gone. Josh Flanagan is gone. Fucking, you know, now Ryan and Adam are gone for the wrong reasons.
Miles
you
went
know,
a couple
like
weeks ago.
Miles gone, Ellie's gone. You know, like
I had
so
that
many
whole like
people.
50 odd people acting about a year or so ago now.
Exactly right. It's just been this slow decline of people leaving, and I think what, in my opinion, is what it's doing is people are not making content they're proud of anymore.
No.
Because it's become, in my opinion, I think, a bit too corporate. And you would never be able to really pick that unless you'd been around for as long as I have. And I'm not trying to be this hipster like, I liked Rooster Teeth before they were cool. No, I'm just saying that comparatively to the content they used to put out a long time ago, the stuff that I grew up with, the stuff that made me want to go, I want to fucking work there.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like, you know, like I might go to a convention, but I probably only go to meet Jeff. You know, because I still idolize that man. He's a lot of the reason why I am the way I am. You know, like me and Jeff I draw a lot of parallels from Jeff. Big guy on reading books. He used to be a military guy. Had a massive alcohol problem. You know, dealt with a lot of shit. A fucking, you know, metalhead, or he's old school punkhead. But you know what I mean? Like I draw a lot of comparisons to myself with Jeff, and you know, covered in tattoos and whatever. And I draw myself a lot of comparisons to him, and like watching him do well.
Also, like takes no shit. Like he'll.
Yeah, and so like, you know, I kind of modeled. I'll be honest, I modeled myself a little bit like him because I wanted to be like Jeffrey, and I think that if I could end up being half the man he is, I think, you know, I would be fucking a life well lived, I guess.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just it really comes down to what they were doing then in comparison to now. Yeah, for me personally, it just feels so corporate, which is why I just stopped watching it less and less. It was overproduced, and it like, you know, they used to film content in a shitty room no bigger than the one I'm sitting in. They stuffed 6 people in there and went, "You have 8 hours. Create video game." It's like, okay, cool, and they just went let loose, you know.
Mm-hmm.
No,
And it
I
was
totally
fun.
agree.
And now it's just like a giant office. We have special guests and everything's blah blah blah, and it's just like,
Moonball.
look, I'm proud of where you've been and what you've built, but man, like,
That's why, like, that's a really good point. Is like working in that office, it was a lot like corporate and all that. I've actually liked the content when they've been working from home because it's just like five of your friends just playing online together.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like you sort of got all of the all the editing's still there as well, but
Yeah.
it sort of just brings.
Yeah, like, I even remember there was a video probably about I reckon it's about 2 years ago. I can't remember what it was. It was an AH one, but there was also someone there from YouTube, like one of the corporate like YouTubers was there, and they had to like be very, very careful about what they were saying, and they were playing it off like they were joking, and they're like, "Ha, you pee," instead of saying "you pussy," and then they're like, "Yeah, because monetization," and then it's like it was quite clear that it was not actually acting. It was
if they don't monetize, they don't get paid. They don't get money.
Yeah, I know, but it's just the way that video was. That's sort of when I first was like,
That's why, like, if you want to watch their content and you want to watch less censored, you go on the website.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously, that's behind the paywall.
Yeah, it is behind.
But
which is the problem.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just usually an hour a month.
So I think I think it was like $10 a month.
Okay.
The problem is like, so if you have an account, you can view stuff whatever after it comes out, and you can view stuff live and everything still as well. It's fine. It's having that first membership is you get priority when it comes to getting into streams. You have priority for this. And you also get the first exclusive series. So that's when you get things like hardcore tabletop, hardcore mini golf,
that's what I use it for.
Yeah, so that's why I had it. But the thing is, those shows that are actually good don't get put out enough.
Yeah.
So, you're waiting 2-3 years, paying $10 a month, what's like $360 for a fucking show that they do 8 weeks of, and then it's gone for another 2 or 3 years. Might not even ever come back.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's just, I don't know. I don't know what they can do, and obviously I'm just a fucking, gaming chair businessman. I'm just giving...
Yeah, we're giving our opinion. We're not saying...
Yeah, I'm just giving my opinion. I'm not saying what...
No,
not at all. It's just from where they were when I first got into them to where they are now. It's not something I enjoy anymore, which really fucking kills me to say. It hurts a lot to say, but it's just the kind of that realization I came to is like it's just due to the fact that these scandals now. I'm just fucking sick of seeing Rooster Teeth in the headlines for the wrong reason. And I'm just so tired of it. It's just like I'm not asking you to change the world. I'm not asking any content to change the way they do things. Just don't fuck your fans. Like, don't be gross. Just be a content creator. Be wacky and zany or whatever the fuck you are, or this quiet, soft-spoken musician on Twitch, or the fucking person who just sits there and reads a book out loud. Just be that, and then once the camera goes off, go be a normal, decent, non-gross human. Your fan messages you, "Hey, I love your content. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate the support. Love you. Say hi to your mum for me." That's it. It doesn't have to be anything else different. But if you're feeling unfulfilled in your relationship as a person, fix that relationship or end it, and then go be gross. Fuck your fans if you're a single individual. Go for it. Don't care. But if it backfires, your fault. Fucking idiots. Makes me mad.
Yeah.
Makes me mad.
So I pretty much have one last question. So
go for it.
Do you think this will be the downfall of Rooster Teeth?
No.
Nah.
No.
I think that question will be answered. Sorry, Brad. Go ahead.
They're still a multi-million-dollar company. They're not going anywhere.
It's
going to have a big backlash. Sorry, next quick. It's going to be a massive backlash. They'll still lose some. It won't be the downfall of them.
Yeah, I can agree in that sense. I genuinely think that question will be answered by their response to this.
Okay. So
how they handle this situation will be the answer to that question, in my opinion, because you look at it. They haven't done any conventions in 2 years now. They did RTX at home, but they're no longer touring with RTX. And I understand it's an expensive business venture to do, and they're losing money when they do it.
Yeah.
But they used to say, we don't care because we can make that money up over the year. We just wanted to come see our fans who are on the other side of the world. They haven't come to Australia in 4 years now, 3 years. When did they last come?
2017.
2018, I think it was. So 2 years.
They did. Did they? Was it 2018?
They did. Let's Play Live.
Yeah, they did Let's Play Live, but I'm talking like an RTX.
RTX
That's
2017.
So it's been 3 years since they brought the company here.
Mm.
2 years since they brought a normal just achievement hunter here.
Yep.
And you know what I mean? They haven't been to England in fucking 4 years or whatever it was. Maybe 3 years as well.
They only did RTX. They only did RTX London once, didn't they? And that was.
No, I think they did
I don't know.
twice.
And
Yeah.
it's just, and it's crazy because, like, you know, yeah, they're saying that they're losing money and stuff like that and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, if they're losing money, then they're doing something wrong on their end. It's not got nothing to do with the fans. The fans are always still going to be there.
Yeah.
You know,
so if they're losing fans.
So
Yeah.
they did RTX London twice. They did RTX Australia 3 times.
Mhm.
And then they've done RTX since 2011.
Yes, 2011 was the first one. It was in a park.
Yeah.
They just showed up and hung out.
It shows where they've come. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's huge, but it's insane to me to think that yes, they're already potentially on the decline. If people want to go that route, I don't agree with that whatsoever. I think they're still on the up and up.
Yep.
I definitely think they plateaued for sure. Going down, don't think so. But if this is going to be the end of RoosterTeeth, well, I think you have to look back at their history as well. You look at channels like Sugar Pine 7, you look at channels like Kind of Funny, you look at channels like Couch Up, where they came under the umbrella of
The Let's Play family.
The Let's Play family, and then they either dissolved because of whatever reason, whether it was, in my opinion, I think it was a lot of how the content changed once they came under that umbrella because it went to the RoosterTeeth way, which unfortunately for a lot of those channels, you know, like Sugar Pine 7 was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was huge.
Fucking hilarious. Couch Up, amazing. But as soon as it got under that umbrella, everything went to shit. And so that poses the question: is RoosterTeeth the problem, or is it those channels just met their untimely end due to extenuating circumstances?
Even Laserbeam, he was in the Let's Play family for a short time.
Yeah, then he
Who?
left.
Now he's got his own thing down here, but he's starting to get involved with the Misfits, which I don't agree with. But another time.
Who was he with before the Misfits? There was something else as well. Before
he's still in that. It's the Click.
Click, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's still in that, I believe.
It's
I watch some of his stuff still, but yeah, that's just kind of the point. Like even he was in there for a short time. His content started to get a little, and then he left.
Well, it's like you say, is it Rooster Teeth's fault or is it Warner Brothers' fault? Because Warner Brothers now own Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, well, you look at the CEO that they brought in when Warner Brothers first started owning them. It was that new guy, the bald fella.
Yeah, I know. I've got what his name is, but I know who you're talking about.
And then he's gone, by the way. Did you know that?
Is he?
He was gone a long time before all this shit happened. He stood down, I want to say, like 6 months ago.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's like this would be like, oh, this is the first time it's happened, but you hear all these.
It's not.
You hear all these stories about Rooster Teeth, and like the other big one this year was obviously when COVID, they had to lay off like 20 employees, and then there was the other thing with Mika, with the diversity thing, is that there's a lot of problems at Rooster Teeth, and it's showing people.
So is Mika's more from fans being racist?
No.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was inherently.
It was fans being racist, but no one defended Mika.
The company didn't do anything about it. Yeah,
which is, it's like seeing someone being racist on the street and walking past. You're basically racist as well because you're not doing anything.
I think see now that we're actually talking about it in this sense, I'm gonna say 2 words. Well, I'm gonna say 4 words, and let's just see if we can figure out what I'm talking about.
All right.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh God.
Rooster Teeth.
Ellen's getting mad shit this year.
I know, but look, are we seeing that just on a YouTube smaller scale?
Yeah.
Is that do we honestly think that might be it? Maybe it's not the most fantastic place that it's not Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You know what I mean? No. It's not Willy Wonka's fucking factory.
I mean, there are a lot of legal issues with the Chocolate Factory.
It's Chernobyl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the thing is like, as fans, we only see what's in videos. So you watch Michael Pegg of Moonball at Gavin, you're like, oh shit, that looks fun. Then you got to worry about all of the background shit and all of the deadlines and then all of the... And again,
what you just said there with Michael throwing a moonball at Gavin, and then this again is now when fans get too involved. They see Gavin at a convention, they just peg a moonball at him.
Yeah, and they shout moonball and it's like, it's okay. Yeah, which they've complained about.
Like,
that's fucking assault.
You're not in on the joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not that like, and that's something. I can't remember. There was a YouTuber I was listening to talking about it. How they were saying that. Yeah, it was actually on a Misfits podcast. I've actually stepped away from the Misfits as well, but that's again a story for another time. But I remember on one of their podcasts they were saying that they went to a convention and they were doing a meetup, and a fan came up to Mason and just told him like he's a disgusting piece of shit, that the boys in the group don't respect him, rah rah, because they rip on him all the time. That the fan thought it was okay to rip on him.
Yeah.
Like, again, that comes down to the fans getting too involved. You're not in the joke.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people, a lot of these
stay.
fans, they just latch onto this shit, and it's just never ends well for anyone whatsoever. You know, like if you have even as a fan at one time thought sexually about anyone that you watch in videos, you know, in any sort of content creation, do not ever message them. Plain and simple.
No.
Don't, because that the situation will never end well for anyone. You message them a certain thing or try to start a conversation or whatever. That will then, if they can, then the streamer has or whoever has three options in my opinion. One, completely blow you off because we don't have an obligation, and then you go, well, that person is a pig and doesn't respect the fans, and bro, we made you and blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden you're a horrible human being.
Yep.
Two, they respond, but it's not the way you expect, and therefore now you're upset. Your mental health has gone downhill because you didn't get to have sex with the person you want, or you know whatever it is.
And they're a horrible
Or
human being.
three, it's a good interaction, and then you think it's okay to message them again, and then again, and then again,
And then we get this
and all of a
situation.
sudden we're getting into that grey area.
Yeah. Mhm.
It is. So when a conversation, in my opinion, between a fan and a person who was the content creator moves into a DM, it's already bad. It's no one wins in that situation, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I probably have done. I've definitely been guilty of DMing someone who I watch a lot of content. And I'll actually, fuck it, I'll talk about it here. So I follow a musician, and his name is Joel Cassette. He is amazing, and I've been following his music for a very, very long time. I followed him from when he was in just a little duet, and then called High Hopes, which turned into a band. That band dissolved. He went away, came back with a solo project. Then he went away again, came back into another like country pop duet, which was awesome. Went away for 3 years. Didn't make nothing for 3 years, and then now he's back. I'm so happy about it. I actually have his lyrics tattooed on my chest. And I DM'd him on Twitter, just saying like, hey man, it's really good to see you back. I've missed all your work. You know, I don't know if you remember me. I'm the fellow who tweeted at you saying I got your lyrics tattooed on my chest, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, man, I love all your support. Thank you so much, rah, rah. That was it. You know what I mean? Like, I never thought, there was no sexual thing. It was just like, love your work, love everything you do. Always happy to support you. He actually found me, he followed me on Instagram.
Yeah, like,
yeah, that's fine. That's what I mean.
Like, you want to message your favorite content creator saying, "Hey, your stuff's helped me," then I'm like, we're not saying don't do that.
Don't do, yeah. But if that's why I'm saying, like, if you have ever thought about him in a certain kind of way,
Don't.
that's when don't.
Funny enough, content creators don't get off to you sending, "Oh, you're so hot" and all that. Like, they don't want that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh.
But yeah, it's yeah. Sorry, I was just my sister's texting me.
Yeah.
It's one of those things I think where there's so much grey, and unless as content creators you firmly establish boundaries and then fucking enforce them, not just because like an attractive person to you messages you, you have to stick to your guns.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I think we've pretty
I
much
think that
covered
pretty well
everything.
covers the whole scandals
Like
and
I
stuff.
said, if anyone wants to actually read up on the Rooster Teeth, Ryan, Adam, go on the internet. You'll find plenty of it. Reddit.
Don't link those screenshots. Maybe link the video that the victim spoke about.
I'll link the video of the victim and
the screenshots
give
to
it
me
a watch as well, which I'm going to give it a watch after this probably because I'm actually interested in everything.
I will probably say that we will probably do another podcast. I'm going to say in the next 5 days or so.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a way more that we want to talk about that's not Rooster Teeth based, and we want to talk about recording games and stuff.
Sort of think this
more of a normal podcast for us.
So, we can like I've got huge announcements to make, as you guys probably know
the
about.
Next
So
couple of days we'll try and film another one, and we'll get that one out as well. But we just wanted to film this podcast because, like Nick said at the beginning,
we just wanted to bring it up.
We met at Rooster Teeth. Like at a Rooster Teeth convention, we got
it's near and dear to our heart, so we wanted to go for it.
RTX 20, the first one where we all met.
2013. Yeah.
Yep.
So 7
Yeah.
years. 7 years ago we met.
2015.
Which is actually
5
crazy
years.
now. I've just said that out of
Gross.
It's 5 years past
It's
2015.
Was it
stinky.
2015?
We met in
2013?
2013. Yeah, we met in 2013.
Yeah. So yeah, 2015. Still 5
5
years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Still 5
Not
years.
bad.
Yeah, not bad.
All right. Well, cool. Well, I guess.
Remember seeing Nick in the line as we were waiting with his little alligator backpack and his fucking hat.
Davey. I still got him. He's still my convention buddy.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So
good one.
let's. So if you want to follow Matt on Twitter, Matt, your Twitter is.
let me double check.
It's at, let me double check.
No, wait. I've got all this Twitter up now.
Brad, you can follow Brad at Twitter.
At camo_BR.
Nice.
I don't think I've opened my
Matt, still not
My
ready.
Twitter. like,
My
run.
Twitter is at Roberts09 with 2 E's.
Cool, and you can follow me on Twitter if you want to come watch me stream and do stuff as well. You can follow me on Twitter at Nick S. Goodall, or you can follow me on Twitch at Heartleaf with an underscore. And if you're feeling generous, chuck me a couple of bucks and buy me a beer. And if you like this stuff as well, because this is basically a podcast channel at this point.
Yeah, it is.
This is Pants Down Podcast episode number like 9 or 10.
Yeah, we've done a few.
We've done a few. We should start numbering them and call them the Pants Down Podcast.
Yeah,
I can't
we'll
believe
do that thing. All right.
Yeah, for sure. All right, cool.
Yeah,
I
cool.
think that's about everything.
I think that's about
That's
it.
Alright.
it. Like, subscribe.
See you guys.
Bye. Bye.